In this video, we are going to be solving quadratic equations by finding square roots. And our first problem, let's see, we have 5x squared minus 40 equals 0. In this first problem, we have a binomial. So when you have a binomial, what you want to do first is, I want to isolate the variable. So I'm going to add 40 to each side. Bring down my 5x squared equals 40. Then I have to divide by 5. And I have x squared equals 8. Then I have to take the square root of each side. All right, you might say, well, wait a minute. 8's not a perfect square. That's true. Square root of x squared is x. However, within 8, there is a perfect square. I can break 8 down into 4 times 2. The square root of 4 is 2. So x equals, and I want to put plus or minus here because there's a positive and a negative. So square root of 4 is 2, and this 2 stays inside the radical. All right, so here is our answer to this problem. Okay, now I'm going to do one more that's a little bit bigger. That's actually a trinomial. So let's see, 25x squared plus 10x plus 1, and this is going to be equal to 9. Now, first thing I'm checking for is, if you notice, this is a perfect square trinomial. How do I know? First term's a perfect square, last term's a perfect square. If I take the square root of the first term and the last term, square root of 25x squared is 5x. Square root of 1 is 1. 5x times 1 gives you 5x, and then I double it. If it matches that middle term when you double it, you know you have a perfect square trinomial. So it factors in this way. It will be quantity squared. Square root of 25x squared, 5x. I write the sign from the middle term. Square root of the last term, 1. Equals 9. My next step is I am going to take the square root of each side. So square root of the left side, square root of the right side. Square root of 5x plus 1, quantity squared, just cancels with the square. So I'm left with 5x plus 1 equals square root of 9 is positive or negative 3. Now what you can do is break this apart into two separate equations. So 5x plus 1 equals positive 3. And we say, or 5x plus 1 equals negative 3. And then solve each equation separately. So minus 1, we have 5x equals 3 minus 1 is 2. Divide by 5. And we have x equals 2/5. So here's one answer. Here, subtract 1. Bring down your 5x. Negative 3 minus 1 equals negative 4. Divide by 5. And we have x equals negative 4/5. So here's our other answers. So negative 4/5 and positive 2/5. All right, that's how we solve quadratic equations by finding square roots. Have fun.